Hello, good evening and welcome to the Bravo 22 Company Festival of Discovery Wrap Party. I'm Matt Wightman. I've been a member of Bravo 22 since 2016 when I discovered Bravo actually through Facebook. I clicked a link, I followed it all the way to Newcastle and ended up in a play called War Stories, which was fantastic. So I'd like to thank the Royal British Legion and the Drive Project for making all of this possible. Well, why are we gathered here today? What's it all about? Well, over the last couple of weeks, we've been running our Bravo 22 Festival of Discovery. What have we discovered? All manner of stuff. And over the next 45 minutes, we'll be taking a look back at some of those things and also back over the last 18 months of other brilliant things that we've been getting up to. Okay, so it wouldn't be right to start this without mentioning our leader, Alice Driver. You've all heard the name, the Drive Project, Alice Driver. Where's it all come from? What do we know about Alice? Well, we're going to find out a little bit more about Alice Driver because I had the privilege to interview Alice earlier this week. Take it away, Alice. So here we have our very special guest for this evening, Alice Driver. Hi Alice, how are you doing?
Hi Matt, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Well, we best get straight on with it because I know we haven't got very long and we've got a lot of questions from some very interested in you Bravo 22 members. So yeah, what a great festival it's been so far. And I suppose we better start with, what on earth made you come up with the idea for Bravo 22 Company?
I think that's a very good question. And so about 11 years ago now, I met a surgeon through my now husband who was working at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Birmingham, and he introduced me to a patient who'd been injured, who'd come back from Afghanistan. And he said to me, when you become injured, you lose your sense of self, you lose your identity, and you lose your voice. And so my background, I was currently working in the theatre in London. And before that, I'd been in various theatres and worked in sort of people development training as well. And I just heard those words and I did feel really, really sad. And I know, you know, we shouldn't feel sorry for people. And I know veterans don't and service personnel don't like anyone feeling sorry for them, but I did. And it just sort of broke my heart. And I just thought, oh my God, like, I know how to give people a voice. The theatre gives people voices. So it was just really simple. And, you know, I've got this amazing theatre in London's West End. It's the last independent theatre, so I've got a bit of leeway as long as I can get some funding. So I decided to bring together, we put the numbers together, you know, 30 whiz, to bring an amazing writer together, director, get them to write their stories and for them to perform it at the Haymarket Theatre twice. And that was the idea.
Fantastic. Was that the Two Worlds of Charlie F?
It became the Two Worlds of Charlie F.
Okay.
Yeah, at that stage, we didn't know what it was called. Like, we didn't know what the theatre company was called. I didn't know where I was going to get the money from. I didn't know a writer. I didn't know a director. I didn't know anything. I just saw really like this vision. I saw this vision and I saw us in the audience at the Haymarket looking at the stage and everyone cheering. And that this was just going to just really help someone who has lost their voice. And that was my kind of drive. Yeah, totally naive, hadn't got a clue. And that was the best place to, it did. Yeah.
Thank goodness, yeah. So a theatre for yourself, I mean, is that something you always wanted to do from being a little girl at school, or is it something you kind of got into later on?
Oh yeah, I've always loved theatre, and you know, used to do, I don't know if anyone did Lambda lessons where you had to like learn poems and perform them and you got grades. And at school I used to love drama, and the secondary school I was at, we had a theatre, and I basically used to just live in the theatre. And for my sixth form, I had to leave my school, and I went to this new school, and not because I got expelled, by the way. And I went to this new school and they didn't have a theatre and they didn't have any drama. So I just was like, okay, well, said to loads of, you know, all the year, who wants to be in a play, put on a play, and sold tickets, sold out, spent all the money in the pub that evening, and sort of bought drinks for the teachers to kind of keep them quiet because we were only 17. And then ended up, they sort of made up a drama prize for me at the end of the sixth form. And then although I studied politics at uni, I just basically lived in the theatre. So I think it's just something that I just love. And, you know, walking into a theatre, it just makes me so happy. I don't know if you sort of, I know you love the theatre and performing as well.
I'm just glad I discovered it eventually. It took me a long time, I suppose, but thanks to you guys, it's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
You know, back when it all began, how could you have envisaged where we would be right now, sort of all these years later with it?
No. I think to do the Two Worlds of Charlie F and to get it on stage for those two performances, it was just, I had this kept image that I was like a bull in a china shop, because along the way there were just so many obstacles. Like the MOD, I had to go see like 100 rehearsal rooms, 50 odd accommodations, because I think they didn't want to do it. And, you know, they said it was airy fairy therapy shit. And so I was just so determined. And, you know, I bought in Ray Winstone so he could be the face of it. I bought in Trevor Nunn so he could oversee it. And every day I was just like, we've just got to keep going. And, you know, I remember like 3 weeks out and we hadn't sold any tickets. And I was like, oh my God. And then, you know, we got Ray on the one show, but no. And that's, but what I love is, I think that first Charlie F was like, I made that happen. And then along the way, all these amazing people like Owen Shears, the writer, Stephen Rain, the director, Ray Winstone, all, you know, the cast, unbelievable. And then along the way, more and more people have just joined and it's evolved. And then suddenly, like 10 years later, it's not mine anymore, you know, it's yours. And I love it. I love seeing it. I love seeing what Sue has, you know, done to it, and Alice Palmer and Stella, and there's just lovely people working in it. But it's so wonderful. What makes Bravo is you know, the members, and just a massive thank you.
Oh, it's a magical experience for anybody that has done it. I think. I mean, that it's that transformation from I don't know, I suppose, of a naive, unknown sort of what the hell's going on around me kind of thing in the theatre, to actually understanding what's going on and getting so involved with it that it is a magical experience. But I mean, now it's not just theatre, it's the brilliant art projects and the sculpture, the writing. How did that evolution sort of come in the story of things?
I think art got introduced in 2016, and that was actually through one of our members, Stuart Hill, who is now a professional artist. And he said, you know, I love art, it's done so much for me, can we do some? And the art side was born. And I think that's, you said earlier, you know, did you ever see that Bravo would end up like this, up, you know, here now? And it's like, well, no, because I hadn't met everyone who was going to make it what it is.
Yeah.
And so I think
it's an evolution, isn't it? And
exactly.
it's that, I think everyone's got some sort of a creative outlet. It's just they don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And what Bravo does, it unpicks those locks inside and just shows people what they can do. And I suppose that's because you've got such a great team working on things all around, you know.
Exactly, such a great team who are so passionate, so talented. Like the creatives we have are brilliant, but really, really dedicated, really care. And there's so much stuff from the team that you don't see that they do behind the scenes as well. And then, of course, you know, we wouldn't be here without the Royal British Legion. And the fact that Teresa Greener, who's still at the Legion, when I sent her an email and said, I've got this idea, she said, yeah, let's do it. And, you know, we've worked with them ever since. And, you know, it's a real partnership.
Yeah, it really is fantastic. I mean, it's an oddball bunch of people to try and work with as veterans, you know. I mean, how did you sort of adapt to the I suppose the military sense of humour? Did it come as a shock, or was it actually quite normal for you coming from uni days? I know people compare the two actually to living and working in unis to sort of having a time in the forces at times.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone's just like a human, you know, person. Yeah. And I know there is like a military sort of way and banter and understanding that doesn't need to be explained. So, but I think, I don't know, I just really enjoy working with veterans, and I enjoy, I think I have got a bit of a dark humor anyway. And particularly after Charlie F, and I'm sure anyone who's worked with me since, you know, also some veterans enjoy swearing as well, and I have a tendency to sort of pick up on that and get a bit so I had to kind of rein myself in a bit.
Yeah, I do remember some moments from the unspoken rehearsal rooms kind of late on towards the end, and it did all get a bit fruity there, but yeah, that it was all brilliant fun and very necessary. Yes, so
yeah, very professional. So
absolutely, yeah. But
it's I love working with this community group. So
because of course you do a lot of other work through the Drive project, through your Drive project with making Generation R, and there is a bit of crossover there with guys who have been both with Bravo and making Generation R. So there's a lot of stuff going on, you know. So how do you relax? You know, how do you find time to relax, and who is it that looks after you? I mean, you've looked after a lot of us for a number of years now. So yeah, who looks after Alice Driver?
Oh, Matt. I have had to, I think I've had to learn like the hard way of how to do that. And as I think quite a lot of people do in life, I think after Charlie F, like I gave my life everything to it, and I wasn't very good with boundaries, and I didn't have balance. And so I think what I've learned is boundaries, balance, being able to put something down. Like if I've had a bad day or something's gone wrong or there's a bit of a challenge, to be able to just now go, I'm just going to leave that there and I'm going to go on a walk. Or I really like Headspace, you know, the meditation app, and I do a little 10 minutes of that. I've had therapy, like when times are tough. You know, my dad died last year, and so I've been seeing a therapist, and that's been amazing. So I suppose, and I also sculpture. So I have like clay and make stuff and write as well. And then hang out with my children and my family and friends and all that.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask there next. Actually, what do you do to chill out? What's your relaxation tips?
My main ones, meditation I love.
Yeah.
Taking 5 breaths, which seems so insignificant, but it's so important. And then I love paddleboarding. And I did a single kayak the other day as well. And we've got rivers near us, and so I just sort of go off for a little paddle.
Lovely. It's always nice to get out in the great outdoors, I think, whenever you can, you know, get the fresh air, and you know, It's been very warm this last couple of days. I know that much.
It has, and yeah, it's getting quite warm up here in the attic. But
Yeah.
I've
You're in an oven.
it's absolutely boiling. But I've got a dog like you, Matt, but I think your dog is a lot more well behaved than my dog because he's nearly 1.
Yeah.
And I have this vision that I'm going to go on like dog walks with him and it's going to be really relaxing in the countryside, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, well, I could recommend some good dog trainers, but they're all up here that I know. But you know, if they could maybe put together a program for you, I'll have a word later.
Thank you.
Yeah, but and our dog's not that well behaved, really.
Okay.
No, we've had to tie her up and leave her in a corner while we're doing this. So.
Oh dear. Well, sorry.
We haven't. So I think we've got. We're going to have a few quick fire questions just for a bit of fun. Just to round things off because we're sadly coming to the end of the time, but it has been absolutely lovely talking to you. So right, here we go. Who's your favourite cartoon character?
Oh God, Inspector Gadget.
Oh, nice one. Favourite soup?
Soup?
Yeah.
Carrot and coriander.
Lovely. And your favourite comedy? That can be a movie, a play, or TV.
Oh God. I think at the moment Motherland.
Oh, I'll have to have a look at that one.
On Netflix, my play.
Favourite biscuit?
Custard cream.
Oh, what about cake?
Oh, chocolate. I think chocolate or a good Victoria sponge.
Oh yes, nice. Yeah, you can't beat it. What else have we got? Let's have a look. And do you know what? I think that's probably about it.
What's your favourite biscuit, Matt? I felt like custard cream was a bit controversial.
Not really controversial. I've just I've eaten a lot of them recently. And I'm kind of trying to look after myself. So I went on to the fig rolls, but I'm not entirely sure that they're a biscuit or that healthy either.
Yes.
It just sounds like it should be.
Yeah. I remember just quickly when I was training to do the London to Brighton bike race many years ago, someone told me that fig rolls are really good for you, but I actually ended up putting on weight because I'd eaten so many fig rolls. So yeah, warning.
I've been lied to. I'm going to leave the fig roll alone, I think.
I'm sorry.
But it's been absolutely lovely talking to you again, Alice. And thanks for joining us. And I think from everybody at Bravo 22 Company that works there, I suppose, and is a member these days, and it's an ever-growing community. Thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And I just want to say a massive thank you to all the members, because genuinely without you, we don't have Bravo. So right back at you, Matt.
Thank you. Bye. You know what, Bravos? That was such a lovely conversation to have with Alice, and who knew that fig rolls was so dangerous or fattening? Now, I say about chatting to somebody. You know, this is interactive. You join us by chatting right now in the live chat bar on the side of your screen. Have a little poke about, you'll find it eventually, and you can leave comments, ask questions, do what you like. Just keep it clean, all right? Next up, I've got an old friend of mine from way back. It's the lovely Debbie from Bradford. Hiya, Debs.
Hiya, Matt, thank you. Too much of the old there, lovely. During the Festival of Discovery, we were offered an afternoon with the poet Joe Bell to try some poetry writing. It was very interesting, informative and enjoyable, and it's amazing what you can come up with. One exercise was to turn off sound and camera on your computer, laptop for a minute, to look around the room that you were in, to think about a moment of love. This is what I came up with. The pain in her eyes, the grip of her hand, not one thing I can do to comfort. The question she asks, the nurse's reply. Her answer to me, I love you. The thrill of the moment, Kayla arrives. The emotion I feel overwhelms me. The pride in our eyes, the love in our hearts, a memory to last eternal. And that is dedicated to my daughter Laura and to my granddaughter Kayla. Thank you.
Debs, that was brilliant. I love that. Beautifully read, beautifully written. If anyone doesn't know Debbie Evans there, Debbie moved down to the south coast many years ago to set up a sanctuary for ferrets and whippets in Yorkshire lass. And talking about moving, next up, we've got a film about movement from, let's have a look. We've got Bronwyn and Sugar Free Steve showing us what they discovered on Al Najeri's session. Hey-o. Do you know what? I feel all floppy and relaxed now. It's a good job we've got another guest coming up. Dropping in, you'll see the pun in a minute, is ex-para Neil Davies. Right? Neil's a new member to Bravo 22, but he's not new to the world of creativity. Neil's actually got a book, a novel called Falling Soldiers, which is available on Amazon Kindle. Neil took part in one of our discovery sessions, and here he is to tell you a little bit more about it and to read something that they came up with. Take it away, Neil.
We had a workshop on storytelling led by Debs Newbold, and she had a couple of exercises that she wanted us to do. One was use one of our senses, and within that minute, write whichever sentence came into our head and put it in the chat box. So there was about over a dozen of us. We all put in a sentence each, and it came up in an amazing way. And we think it's a poem written by a collective, written by a platoon, I should say. It's about the same size. And so storytelling, you know, it's the oldest form of communication. It's the way we inform each other, entertain each other, and also it's a way of healing. So this is the poem. Shall I read it for you now then?
Yeah, go ahead.
The harmonic sound of the little fridge, looking at you, looking at me, looking at you. I see cafes with empty chairs waiting to be sat in. Heavy curtains covering the windows. A fly is buzzing, caught in a spider's web. The heat of this searing sun. Insistent, unconscious memories knocking out my mind. It has changed colour with the input of children. We live in our individual cocoons, sharing only the dustbin and washing line. In here, I love to create. Ice cold water moving through the copper piping is the scent. I can hear the fluttering of a butterfly wings. This large mass sits heavy, the gentle breathing of my dog. And there you go.
Brilliant. I love that. That's brilliant. And that was, you came up with that just in one session.
One session, 1 minute, banging into the chat box. And that's the order it came up in. Yeah, and we all went, Debs, you're either a genius or we've had a religious experience.
Yeah, fantastic. Thanks for reading that, Neil. Thanks for sharing. That was brilliant.
Good luck with the rest of the night.
Thanks, mate. Right. Now then, guys, what's up next? Well, you know Bravo's been going on for a little while now. It's not just a festival of discovery. It's, you know, it's the last 18 months. What have we been up to over the last 18 months? Well, why don't you have a little look at this film of some highlights of what we've been doing.
Recording me. Right.
Brilliant. Okay, we've got that.
End. So I think I should probably let you know that this is a Foley first. I don't think this has ever been done before, certainly not in this way. So welcome to the Foley first. We're going to be...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bravo 22 Comedy Session Open Mic Night!
Yeah, there we go. You gone. Lovely. Oh, I think we have a champion, Sharon. Well done. So we're going to do a dragon, mainly because I like drawing dragons. Yeah, and this is this calm character that usually runs these mindfulness sessions with my creative character and my positive character. And sometimes I'm wearing all of these at the same time.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Oh, he's good, Dan.
Beautiful. That bird is so delicate.
But is it a vegetable? Is it a herb? Is it grass?
And the Moana voice, who voiced it was, I'll take either Dwayne Johnson or The Rock.
So not Charlize Theron then?
No wrong. Absolutely not.
This dialogue's from The Notebook, and it's between Noah and Ali.
What's that? Lovely stuff.
I just wanted to say how much I enjoyed the session that we did last February. I've always thought that theatre, well, the arts generally are hugely important in confidence building, among other things, and I look forward to the next time.
Telecaster cockpit. It's to think that, it's probably worth a fortune. Well, wanna buy it? It's out of my price range.
In the stage, she says, I am happy.
You know what that is. If there's anyone from Warrington watching, I did Warrington the next night and I held it up and said, does anyone know what that is? And this bloke shouted out, fat bird with a stick. So there you go.
One of the great signs in a working relationship when you teach is that the students teach you as much as you teach them, and that is absolutely the case when I work with Bravo 22.
It was, even now, it makes me laugh, there were so many wonderful moments in that series. It was a joy, an absolute joy.
So this was a sort of triumph for me that we could still communicate. I had people out there listening, and I was very grateful to be given the privilege of sharing some of the wisdom I've picked up over my several decades in the acting profession.
We'll sit and do sonnets over a pint. That sounds perfect.
I'm well and truly up for that. That would be amazing.
So I want you to flop over. You can stand, you can sit, you can just flop over. And as you flop over, try and release the back of the neck. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But if you want to bring an arm over and you want to pull, you breathe in and up.
Little Ickle was in a bit of a pickle. Her sweet shop had run out of raspberry ruffles. Little Ickle felt sad in the middle. So she rode on her scooter and pushed home to her mother. Mommy, Mommy, stomped Little Ickle. There are no raspberry ruffles and I feel sad in the middle. Oh, Oh, sweet little Echo, please don't get in a pickle. Here, I've made you some donuts with my love and some jam placed right in the middle.
I personally have thoroughly enjoyed all this, and I'm a bit like Tip, who's put in the chat more. Because I think we could all benefit from doing something like this regularly. Sheila, hi. I forgot to say to you last time. Hi, nice to see you again.
Good to see you.
For our next trick, I shall try and fit one of these in my mouth. No, that's never going to work.
I'm glad you said mouth. Throughout this course, my only worry was the volume of your mic, Mickey. But actually, today you sound on a volume level with everybody else, so I don't know what that was. It might be a matter of you just sitting a little close to the screen. But oh, sorry, yes, Mickey.
It was because I turned the microphone around the right way.
Oh, well done. Oh, good. There we go. So that is a very key thing.
Oh, you're reading the wrong part of the scene. Just look at the front.
Oh, can't hear me. I'm reading the back.
It's true what they say about the Irish.
Oh, shut up.
My lady love, assuredly I am cured.
What have I done?
The lady does protest too much, methinks.
I can only remember the end.
Do you want a nudge?
I'll just excuse me. I'm going to look like a right idiot.
Stand by. Hold on.
Is that Sarah?
Yeah! Sorry, I'm not on mute. Sorry.
Kate Beals. Oh, you.
And to you, sugar-free, of the Jesus, Son of Jesus, Lord, my Lord. Take thee of the glorious Mary Joseph, Bronwyn, as your lovely daughter. Go on, your lovely wife.
Yes, I do.
Today.
Get it together, Palmer.
Sorry.
A big thank you to Bravo 22.
So thank you very much.
So thank you, Bravo 22.
Thank you for letting me work with you.
Cheers.
Join in Bravo 22. It's fun, it's friendly. It can make you feel a whole lot better about yourself. Opening your mind to a whole world of creativity you probably never knew you had. But more importantly, it's good fun.
Wow, wasn't that brilliant? I enjoyed every minute of that and every minute of my time with Bravo 22. Thank you to everyone who's taken part, everyone who's contributed. It's been an absolute blast. I need to remind you, just before we do our final wrap up of the rap party, that the ComSat exhibition is now online and you can go and visit that. Just head to the ComSat website. You'll find all the details in our social media posts. You can visit it, have a look around. You'll see some familiar names amongst the artwork in there. So yeah, just have a good look round. It's brilliant. Also, I'll just check my notes here because there's quite a few people to thank. I'd like to say a special thank you to the Royal British Legion and the Drive Project, and of course Alice Driver. Without Alice, there wouldn't be any of this, would there? I'd thank TTI for keeping us on air. Great job, guys. That's Ian and Jiva. And a massive thank you to Sue Brody, Alice Palmer, and Stella von Koskel. And I actually got you some flowers here, which I'd just like to show you. We've got self-raising, plain, and some sort of organic one. So they'll be coming down to you soon. It's just been brilliant. Thank you to everybody for your enthusiasm and your willingness to jump in feet first and have a great time, because without our members, Bravo 22, what's the point? You know, Bravo, it's in here, it's in the heart. If you need any sort of Bravo fixes, you can visit our YouTube channel to catch up on all the videos and activities that we've been doing over the last couple of years even. Let's see, you can visit our Facebook community page. Yeah, we've got a community page, we are family. So you can visit that, have a chat amongst yourselves, keep each other company, because the office is going to be closing from the 6th of August and opens at the end of August. Oh no. Yeah, well, Alice, Sue and Stella need to be folded up neatly, batteries taken out, placed in a drawer underneath Alice Driver's caravan for recharging and a little bit of rest. So they need a bit of time off, okay? So we'll keep each other company in the community page, look after each other, and we'll all be back with a bang in September, and we'll make some more magic happen. Right, I'm Matt Wightman, and I'm off. Thank you.